Hello and welcome yogis to today's practice for focus and mental clarity. This class is perfect for getting out of your head, focusing on the task at hand and getting grounded in your body. It's perfect for all levels and you won't need any props. So when you're ready, come join me on the mat and we'll begin. Just coming into a comfortable cross-legged seat, we'll begin to close our eyes and roll our shoulders up towards our ears and allow them to hang heavy down our back. And we'll bring our left hand to rest the lower part of our belly and the right hand to rest onto our heart center. And we'll just begin with a gentle breathing practice. Inhaling through the nose to a count of 4. We'll hold for a count of 1. And exhale to a count of 4. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Filling the lungs full of air. See if you can send the breath right down to the bottom of the belly as you release and let go of any tension on the exhale. Deepen with each inhale and release with each exhale. And we'll gently begin to release, come back to center. Gently blink your eyes open. We're going to drop our right ear towards our right shoulder and bring our right hand to rest on top of the ear. And bring your left hand to rest the shoulder, just to create a little bit more space through the side of the neck. Maybe you want to close the eyes or bring a soft gaze. And begin to drop the head, dropping the gaze towards the knees, opening deeper into the back of the neck, releasing any tension. And we'll bring our head back to center and we'll swap sides. Dropping left ear to left shoulder, and using the hands to gently create more space between the side of the neck. Sending your breath into any areas of tension, any areas of stress. And maybe you want to drop your gaze, looking down towards the knees. Go a little bit deeper into the back of the neck as you notice how this side feels from the last. And we'll gently make our way back up out of that. You can shrug off your shoulders and we'll go deeper into our side body. So bring your left hand to rest down onto the mat, maybe bringing the forearm down onto the mat or staying high up on the hand. Bring the right hand up and overhead. Maybe begin to look up towards the sky, if that feels okay in your neck. Keeping a nice opening through the chest. Keeping both sitting bones grounded. And gently swapping sides. Right hand rests down onto the mat. Left hand sweeps up and overhead. Open through the chest. Opening through the side of the body, right down into the hips. Inhale and exhale, we'll release. From here, we'll make our way into tabletop. We're gonna run through a few rounds of cat and cow. So keeping your knees in line under the hips and your wrists in line under the shoulders. On an inhale, we're going to drop our belly, lift our tailbone high, loop the shoulders back, look forward, open the chest forward into our cow. Exhale, round to the spine, drop the gaze, peeling up into our cat pose. Inhale, back into cow, looking forward. Exhale, rounding into cat. begin to move with your own breath as we gently warm up and wake up the spine, getting deep down into the hips, creating space through the shoulders. Lengthen through the front of the body. Maybe close the eyes to really connect with the movement. From here we'll make our way into our first down dog. Walk your hands more forward, tuck under your toes, hover the knees off the mat, pressing the hips high up towards the sky. And we'll begin to walk through the legs, dropping one knee at a time, lifting opposite heel away from the mat. Rolling the shoulder blades away from the ears, and a bend into our knees, as if we're trying to bring our knees into our belly. And then we'll straighten our legs, drop the heels down. It's just moving through this movement a few times, a deep bends in the knees, straighten the legs. And then we'll begin to walk up towards the top of the mat into a deep forward fold, taking your time to get there. Keeping the feet about a hip width distance apart. Allow the upper body to hang heavy. Keep a soft bend in the knees. And begin to straighten and bend into opposite knee, warming up the hamstrings, releasing any tension in the lower back and into the hips. Maybe taking hold of opposite elbow. And just allow the upper body to release, rocking side to side, releasing deeper into the hips. Close the eyes, noticing how this feels, how tight the body is. Sending the breath to those areas of tightness. And we'll release the hands. Gently make your way into a halfway lift. Plant the hands on the shins, hinge forward from the hips. And we'll forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, folding forward. We'll peel our way up to standing from here. Gently, with a soft bend in the knees, begin to unravel and unwind, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other, until you make your way up to standing. Roll your shoulder blades up towards the ears, dropping them back down, palms facing forward, coming into our Tadasana, into mountain pose. Noticing the weight between either leg, noticing the energy rising up through the body. Coming into dancer pose from here, bit of a balancing challenge. We're going to bring our right hand over towards the right. I'm going to see if you can take hold of the back of the right foot. Inhale, reach through the left arm. On your next exhale, begin to kick your right foot into the hand as you hinge forward from the hips, drawing your left hand out in front of you. The harder you kick into your right hand, the longer you can stay here. The trick is to keep your balance on one point. Find your Drishti, your focus point. Stay with your breath. Stay with your balance. And we'll gently, softly release. Well done, good job. You can gently shake it out, bring the life back into the legs. And then we'll take it to the next side. Find your balance. Notice the right leg from the left. Bring your left hand out to the side, bend into the left knee, see if you can take hold of the inside of the foot. Inhale, begin to reach the right hand up and overhead. And on an exhale, hinge forward, find your balance. begin to kick into the left hand as you hinge forward. Don't worry if you wobble, don't worry if you fall, you can always come straight back in. I know these balancing poses are really challenging, but they're so good for the body, so good for the mind. Remember to breathe. Don't lose your breath. And we'll gently release. Good job. Just shake out the legs once again. Bring the life back into both legs. Come back into our mountain pose. Palms face forward. Close the eyes. Now notice the energy rising through the body. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge from the hips, diving forward, soft bend in the knees. And once again, we'll just shake through opposite leg, bending into the opposite knee. Bring your hands back behind you, interlace your fingers. We'll drop our left shoulder down towards the left knee. Allowing the knees to bend as deeply as they need to here. And dropping over, right shoulder meets the right knee. So we're opening deep into our chest, stretching into our hamstrings. Take it to the opposite side once again, left shoulder towards the left knee. And right shoulder to the right knee. And then just allow the head to hang heavy, allow the arms to fall out behind you. Deep opening for the shoulders. Bring the arms back towards the sacrum, release the hands down towards the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, folding forward once again. Planting both hands down onto the mat, maybe coming onto the fingertips. We're going to begin to bend into the knees as you lift your heels away from the mat, going down into a squat. Staying high up on the toes or drop down onto the knees if your balance is a little bit challenged this morning. You can bring your hands either side of the hips. Find your balance, find your Drishti. Find that focus point. Hands come to touch in front of your heart center. And we'll begin to open up to the left. Place the right hand to the left knee. And the left hand reaches out behind you. Open through the chest. Come back to center. We'll take it to the next side. Left hand to the right knee. Right hand behind you. Opening up. Gently come back to center. Don't worry if you fall out. Don't worry if you're shaking, so am I. Open to the opposite side. Left hand behind you. Come back to center. Last side. Left hand to the right knee. Right hand behind you. And we'll make our way back to center. Bring the fingertips down towards the mat. Drop the knees down. And we're just going to shake out through the ankles, wiggle through the toes. The feet may have started to cramp, so just bring a little bit of life, a little bit of the blood back into the feet. And from here, we're going to make our way into Camel Pose. We'll come up, high up onto our knees. We'll bring our hands back behind our lower back, shoulders roll down away from the ears as you drop the head back. Now this may be enough for you. You can stay here if you want, or if you feel you want to go a little bit deeper and go into our full camel. We're going to begin to bend back even deeper, taking hold of our ankles as we drop our head back, pressing our hips forward. So you want your fingers to be on the outside of the feet, and your thumbs to be onto the inside. Very deep heart opener. Deep into the shoulders, deep into the hips. stay with your breath. I know how challenging this pose can be. Keep your focus with your breath wherever you are. And we'll bring our hands back to our lower back. Gently and softly come out of our camel pose. And we'll sit back towards the heels. So now we're going to counter stretch out of our camel. You can bring your knees wide apart and keep them close together. While we walk our hands out in front, drop your forehead towards the mat and rest in a child's pose. You can always rest your hands down along by the feet, just to really nestle in with the body. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Slow it down. Slow down the mind. And slow down the body. And gently come back up out of the pose. We're going to walk the knees a little bit more wide, maybe as wide as the mat. Walk the hands back out in front of you and drop the forehead down towards the mat. We're going to begin to walk our hands over to the right. Maybe you can rest your left hand down on top of the right hand, keeping the hips sitting back towards the heels. Not to worry if they don't touch, just once they're hanging heavy towards the heels. You just want to find that sense of grounding between the hips and the heels. Gravity eventually will draw the body deeper and closer to the mat, but allow it to do it in its own time. And we'll gently come back up and make our way to the left. Walk the hands over. Maybe you can rest the right hand on top of the left. Sink the hips towards the heels. Forehead rests down towards the mat. Deep, full belly breaths. And we'll gently come back to center. And we'll walk the hands back towards the body. Bring the knees to touch. And either you can stay sitting in a hero pose, sitting back towards the heels, or if this is a little bit too uncomfortable for your ankles, you can come into a comfortable cross-legged seat. Resting your hands down onto the legs, palm facing up, shoulders soften down the back. Take a deep inhale in through the nose and exhale back out through the nose. Notice how the body feels now. Bring your left hand back to the lower part of the belly and your right hand to rest back up to your heart center. And just allow the breath to be natural this time. Just notice how the breath is flowing through the body. Notice any change. Notice any shift in perspective. Notice what you notice. We'll gently release the hands down alongside the body. Inhale, sweep the hands up and overhead. Exhale, hands come down to your heart center. Gently bow your head down towards your hands. And this is where I'll leave you today. Thank you very much for joining me for today's class. I do hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you again very soon on the mat. Namaste.